Chapter 1. The Mind Unleashed. The sun hangs low over the harbor of Syracuse, its golden light spilling across the marble columns of the city's grandest temples. The air hums with the distant chatter of merchants, the rhythmic clatter of bronze tools against stone, and the occasional cry of gulls wheeling overhead. But in a quiet courtyard, shielded from the bustle, a man stands alone, his gaze fixed on the world as if seeing it for the first time. Archimedes of Syracuse is not yet the legend he will become. He is a young scholar, his mind a storm of questions, his hands restless with the need to prove what others dismiss as impossible. Around him, the city thrives under the rule of Hieromen, a king who values both wisdom and war. But Archimedes cares little for politics. His world is one of numbers, of shapes that defy the eye, of truths hidden in the spaces between what is seen and what is known. He picks up a bronze sphere, its surface polished to a mirror finish, and rolls it across the stone floor. It moves with effortless grace, obeying the laws of nature as if they were written in the stars. But Archimedes does not accept the world as it is. He wants to understand why. Why does the sphere roll? Why does it stop? What invisible forces guide its path? His fingers trace the curve of the metal, and in that moment, something shifts. A thought takes root seed of an idea, so radical it could unravel the very fabric of knowledge. He has heard the philosophers speak of geometry, of Euclid's axioms, of lines and angles that exist only in the mind. But Archimedes sees more. He sees the hidden geometry of the real world, the way numbers and shapes intertwine in the fabric of existence. He turns to a sheet of papyrus, his stylus poised above the surface. The first marks are tentative, but soon they flow with certainty. He writes of circles, of their perfect symmetry, of the way their circumference relates to their diameter. The ratio is constant. He realizes a sacred number, a key to unlocking the mysteries of the cosmos. He calls it pi, though the name will not stick. For now, it is simply the truth, waiting to be discovered. But Archimedes does not stop there. He pushes further into the realm of the infinite. What happens when a shape is divided again and again, its edges dissolving into nothingness? He imagines a spiral coiling inward, its arms growing smaller and smaller, yet never quite vanishing. It is a paradox, a riddle wrapped in a curve. And yet, in that paradox, he finds a kind of beauty, a glimpse of the divine order beneath the chaos of the world. The courtyard grows darker as the sun dips below the horizon, but Archimedes does not notice. He is lost in the dance of numbers, in the silent symphony of logic. The city around him fades away, replaced by a vision of pure thought. He is no longer just a man. He is a mind unleashed, a spark of reason burning brighter than any torch. And then, as if summoned by his thoughts, a voice breaks the silence. Archimedes, he turns to see his friend, the philosopher Eratosthenes, standing in the doorway. The older man's eyes are alight with curiosity, but there is something else, or too, a flicker of unease. You've been at this all day, Eratosthenes says, stepping closer. What have you found? Archimedes hesitates. He knows that some truths are dangerous. The priests and the politicians do not like men who question the natural order. But he cannot keep this to himself, not when it burns so fiercely inside him. I found a way to measure the unmeasurable, he says softly, a way to see the invisible. Eratosthenes exhales, a slow, thoughtful sound. And what will you do with it? Archimedes looks back at his worked equations, the diagrams, the fragments of a new world. He does not yet know, but he knows this. The mind, once unleashed, cannot be contained. The next morning, the news spreads through Syracuse like wildfire. The young scholar has done the impossible. He has calculated the circumference of the earth using nothing but shadows and geometry. The king himself summons him to the palace, where Hieromen listens and all as Archimedes explains his method. The king's advisors scoff, but Hiero is no fool. He sees the potential in this man's mind. You have given us a gift, the king says at last, a gift of knowledge. Archimedes bows, but his thoughts are already elsewhere. He is not content with mere calculations. He wants to build, to create, to turn his theories into reality. And so, in the workshops of Syracuse, a new era begins. Archimedes gathers his tools, bronze, iron, wood, and sets to work. He designs machines that defy belief, cranes that lift impossible weights, screws that draw water from the depths of the earth, mirrors that focus the sun's rays into a single searing point. Each invention is a testament to his genius, a bridge between the abstract and the tangible. But not everyone is pleased. The merchants grumble about the disruption to trade. The priests whisper of blasphemy. And the Romans, watching from across the sea, begin to take notice. They see a city that defies the natural order, a man who bends the laws of physics to his will. They do not understand it. And what they do not understand, they fear. Yet Archimedes does not care. He is too busy pushing the boundaries of what is possible. He writes his discoveries on scrolls, sending them to Alexandria, to Rome, to any who will listen. He dreams of a world where knowledge is free, where the mind is the only limit. But the world is not ready for such dreams. As the years pass, the shadows grow longer. The Romans, emboldened by their conquests, set their sights on Syracuse. They see a city of scholars and inventors, a city that must be brought to heel. And so they come with fire and steel, determined to crush the mind that dares to challenge them. But Archimedes is not afraid. He has spent his life defying the impossible. And now, as the enemy closes in, he will do it one last time. The next chapter of his story is written in blood and bronze, in the clash of steel and the roar of flames. It is a story of defiance, of genius, and of the unbreakable spirit of a man who refused to be contained. But that is a tale for another time. For now, the mind is unleashed, and the world will never be the same.